Good afternoon. We'll be doing chapter 6, Fallacies, part 4. Here we'll be studying the third fallacy, the fallacy of accident. This fallacy arises due to wrong use of rules in exceptions. We already know there are many legal rules which are to be followed so that there is no chaos in the society. There are certain moral, legal, educational, or social rules or principles. Such rules are in normal circumstances desirable. But from this, it does not logically follow that they should be applied even in special cases. In other words, practically every rule has exceptions. It is not applicable in a special, accidental, or exceptional circumstances. Let us take the definition of this fallacy. When it is argued that what is true as a general rule is also true in a special case, then the fallacy of accident is committed. Now let us take few examples of the fallacy of accident. Regular walk is good for keeping oneself physically fit. This is the general rule. Therefore, a patient with fractured leg should also walk regularly. Here, the fallacy of accident is committed because the general rule that regular walk is good for keeping oneself physically fit is misapplied to a special case of a patient with fractured leg, that he should also walk regularly. A second example, one should always speak truth. This is the general rule. Therefore, the doctor is wrong in telling the terminally ill patient that there is improvement in her health and she will be alright soon. Here, the fallacy of accident is committed because again the general rule is misapplied to a special case of an ill patient and the doctor telling her a lie. So he shouldn't tell her a lie that she will get alright soon. This is what is argued. So it is misapplied. Hence, the fallacy of accident is committed. Let us take the third example. To defend oneself from injury is perfectly justified. Means this is the general rule that if somebody comes to stab you or hurt you physically, then you have to do self-defense. Protect yourself. And this is the general rule. To protect yourself, self-defense is the general rule. But that does not mean that a patient is justified in kicking a surgeon who is about to perform an operation on him. We argue in this manner that he also should do the same when we are committing the fallacy of accident. The fallacy of accident is committed because the general rule that one should have self-defense is applied to a patient who is undergoing operation in the operation theatre. Now we come to Converse fallacy of accident. This fallacy arises due to wrong use of rules in exceptions. This fallacy is the converse of the fallacy of accident. According to Cohen and Nagel, there are certain truths which are accidental truths. It is irrelevant to arrive at general principles out of accidental truths. In other words, what is true in accidental or exceptional case need not be true in general. In this fallacy, an attempt is made to arrive at a general rule on the basis of a special or an exceptional case. Let us see the definition of converse fallacy of accident. When it is argued that what is true in a special or exceptional case is true as a general rule, then we commit the fallacy, that is converse of accident. Now let us take few examples. An ambulance is allowed to overtake the other vehicles and break the traffic rules. Why? Because during emergency the person may die. So therefore every vehicle must be allowed to break the traffic rule. When we argue in this manner, then we commit the converse fallacy of accident. In this example, it is argued that what is true in a special case of ambulance, that is, it is allowed to break the traffic rules, is accepted as a general rule for all vehicles. Now let us take the second example. A visually challenged student is given writer for the exam that you already know. So, if every student starts demanding for a writer for the exam, will it be correct? No. Then we will commit the converse fallacy of accident. In this example, it is argued that what is true in a special case of a visually challenged student, that is, the student is given a writer for the exam, is accepted as a general rule for all students. A student is allowed to appear for supplementary exam as she was sick during final exam. So all the students must be allowed to appear for supplementary exam. Here the fallacy committed is converse fallacy of accident, because in a special case of a sick student who could not appear for the final exam is allowed to appear for supplementary exam. And this is misapplied as a general rule to all students, that they must be allowed to appear for supplementary exam. So we have understood what is the fallacy of accident and opposite to that, converse fallacy of accident. Thank you.